Yeah, there we are. Good morning. All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Appreciate you being here. We're going to get started. So let's start by finding a comfy seat this morning. So make sure that you're finding your sits bones in the chair. The knees are straight ahead of your hips and your toes straight ahead. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, we'll close the eyes. If you'd rather not, just soften your gaze towards the tip of your nose. Let your vision start to go a little fuzzy. And let's just begin by noticing our breath. Begin by noticing how the breath is moving into the body, how the breath is moving out of the body. When we take this time to notice the body, we start to create that connection of body and breath, mind and spirit. We notice if the breath is smooth, if it's a little ragged, if we're finding the breath easily or if it's a bit of a struggle. We notice if the breath is shallow or deep. Let's bring our right hand to our belly and our left hand to our heart. And I want you to spread your fingers really wide so that you're covering a good bit of space here. And we're going to gently seal our lips and breathe in through your nose. And with this first breath, I just want you to notice which hand you're feeling the breath move into. And then a gentle exhale again from the nose. We breathe in through the nose again. And breathe out through the nose. In through your nose. And out through the nose. Now this next breath, I want you to try to breathe into the hand at your belly. Breathing in. Take that long, full inhale, breath, fill, fill, fill. And then exhale. Noticing the hand moving back in. One more time like that. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe into the hand at your belly. As you start to completely fill the belly, you might start to feel the hand at your heart lift as well. And then exhale. Feeling the hand at the chest begin to soften first, and then the hand at the belly softens. Good. Now just relax your breath. You can continue to keep this connection of hand at heart and belly, or you could rest your hands to your lap, whichever feels most comfortable here. And as you relax the breath and you continue to breathe in this full, complete way, I'd like you to notice the coolness of the air that you are breathing in through the nose. And then the warmth of the air as it leaves the body through the nose. When we breathe in and out through our nose, it helps us to slow the breath, helps us to be more mindful, and to relax more fully. Today I want to talk to you about trusting your wings. Imagine a small bird perched on a branch, high above the ground. The birds are all fluttering back into town after their long Florida trip. The birds are perching on the trees, they're singing their little hearts out, they're letting us know that spring has arrived. Now this little bird, as she's perched on the tree, she doesn't cling in fear, nor does she hesitate to land. She isn't worried about whether the branch will hold her weight or if a strong wind might shake her balance. Why? Because her trust is not in the branch, it's in her wings. How often do we place our trust in external things, our jobs, relationships, routines, only to feel unsteady when they shift beneath us? Life is unpredictable, and the branches we rely on can break. But just like the bird, we're not meant to cling. We're meant to trust in our own ability to adapt, to rise, to fly. Yoga teaches us this trust. We come to our practice not because life is perfect and steady, but because we're learning to study ourselves within it. We're building strength, not just in our bodies, but in our hearts, and our ability to breathe through discomfort, and in our trust that we can meet whatever comes our way. So today, as we move together and we breathe together, I want you to notice if there are places where you're clinging, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. Ask yourself, what am I gripping onto that I could release? And then soften and breathe. Remember, your strength does not come from what you hold on to. It comes from what's already within you. You have wings. Trust them. Allow your hands to fall to the sides of the body, palms facing front of the room. We'll take an inhale breath and reach the arms high over the head. Maybe lift your gaze, bringing fingertips together. Exhale, float your hands back down sides of body. Inhale, we reach. Remember, we want to try to feel like we're moving through honey or molasses or peanut butter. Exhale, arms softly float back down. Nice work. Inhale, we reach. This time, exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Let your thumbs come to rest at heart space. Bow your heads for just a moment. And here, take a moment of gratitude to yourself for making the space in the day, for arriving here, for dedicating this time to yourself, to your well-being. Let your hands float down to the lap. And we'll tip our chin towards our chest. Inhale, breath, lift your gaze towards the ceiling. Notice the stretch along the front of your throat, even opening into the top of the heart space. And exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the chin towards your chest. And please always remember to honor your body. If something doesn't feel good, inhale, lift. Remember, it's up to you to be your own steward of your body. Make sure you're honoring it and taking things in a way that feels best. Tuck the chin. And draw the chin back parallel, looking straight ahead. Let's take a look over our left shoulder. Ooh, come through center, look over your right shoulder. Back through center, look over left. And back through center, looking over the right. Good. Come back to center. And now let's tip our left ear towards our left shoulder. It might feel nice here to bring your left hand up and let that rest on top of your head. And remember, we don't want to pull. We're just resting our little 2-pound hand on top of our head, feeling that stretch along this bigger muscle, this ropey one, our SCM. And then you might even reach your right hand down towards the floor, lengthening out through the fingertips. Take a breath in, reach through your fingertips. And exhale, breath. Good. Inhale. With this exhale breath, let your chin tip towards your chest and gaze down towards your left hip, just changing the angle of the stretch ever so slightly. Inhale, breath, lift the gaze. Gently release and let your head float back center. Good. All right, right ear, right shoulder. Bring your hand up, resting on top of the head, not pulling. Reach down through the left fingertips. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, breath. And exhale, breath. Gaze down towards your right hip. Tuck the chin towards your chest. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift the gaze back to center, gently release. Let your hands float back to your lap and just take a moment to notice how things are feeling. Always coming back to that soft breath, lips gently closed, inhales and exhales traveling through the nose. Good. Let's take some shoulder rolls here. Shrug the shoulders up towards your ears, down your back. So we'll go towards the back of the body first. I feel like I need to scooch forward. Always feel free to move around. If things aren't feeling quite right, I was feeling like I was kind of slouchy there, so just coming out onto the edge of the chair a little bit. Let's take that forward now. Change directions. I always tend to come up with something that feels kind of good, and honestly, this little bicycle cha-cha feels really good, so feel free to kind of bicycle them. See if you can go this way, and then switch it. Cha-cha for sure. I feel like we should have a little cha-cha music for this. Good. All right, bring the palms in towards the body here. So tuck your elbows tight, palms towards the ceiling. Take an inhale breath. And on your exhale, just pull your thumbs towards the back of the body. Good. Inhale, come back center. And exhale, pull the thumbs open. Now, as you find those breaths, can you feel your rib cage expand under your elbows? Inhale, coming back in. And exhale, open. Inhale, back. Exhale, pull the thumbs back. Good. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, thumbs draw back. Good. Come back to center. Bring your fingertips towards your shoulders. Let's take some circles here. So again, towards the front of body. So just start to take these in whatever size feels best. It might be a small circle. Maybe we work up to a little bit more of a medium-sized circle. Maybe we take it big. We're just thinking about if our elbows had marker tips. We're drawing circles on the walls. Good. Switch directions, taking it towards the back of the body. Noticing if you're finding any little sticky spots, if anything doesn't feel quite so good. Just noticing if maybe even you think back a couple of weeks, a couple of months, the first time that you did this, does this feel different than that time? Good. All right, let's go ahead and relax the arms back down to the lap. And just notice what you notice. Starting to notice the blood coursing through the body, through the arms, through the shoulders. Maybe you even notice the heart rate might be just ever so slightly elevated. Good. All right, come back, elbows tucked in tight. We're gonna do some wrist rolls. So just rolling your wrist. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Really think about this happening just in your wrist, which is why I have you tuck your elbows in. Switch direction. Don't forget to breathe, those inhales and exhales. Switch directions again. I always think about holding like little sparklers in my hands, like 4th of July, I like draw those little circles. Good. And when you close your eyes after you do that, you can still see those little circles. Kind of a cool little thought. All right, now let's come into finger flickies. So just like you went to the public restroom, they were out of paper towels, the blow dryer's not working, and we just want to flick all the water off our fingers. Now, this one gets really warm in your forearm, right? Like you're like, it doesn't feel good. It starts to get really warm, the blood starts coursing, but this is really good to help us get some movement back into the hands. This helps to strengthen our forearms. Heaven forbid we take a tumble. We want to have our hands and our wrists and our forearms and shoulders. We want to have that upper body prepared to catch us if we need to, because our automatic instinct is to throw our hands out and catch ourselves. So if that would happen, we want to try to keep ourselves nice and strong. And I know your forearms are probably a little warm at this point, but we're just going to keep flicking and we're going to keep going. And it's okay because we're not breaking yet. We're just going. Keep going. Got it. You got it. Breathe. Take an inhale. Let's take a big sigh. We're almost through it. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Ooh. Are we feeling that? Yeah, we are. Take one more breath here. Let that breath go. Good. All right, let's send the arms out. Now, some of you may remember this from probably about a month or so ago. We're going to imagine we are inside a snow globe. Your fingertips are paintbrushes. So we're reaching out to the sides and we're touching the sides of our snow globe. And now reach up, touch the top of your snow globe. Good, now reach down, touch the bottom of your snow globe. Reach forward, touch the front. All right, now we'll reach to the sides again. How far behind you could you possibly reach your fingertips to touch into the back of the snow globe? Now, how about behind you? Could you sweep your arms down and touch a bit behind you? Okay, now we're going to take, can I see the second hand? I can. We're going to take about a minute, and I would like for you to use your fingertip paintbrushes and paint the entire inside surface of your snow globe. So you're trying to paint every last bit of it without leaving anything untouched. So what is this doing for your body? What this is doing is it's exploring your range of motion. It's exploring all the ways that your shoulder joint is capable of moving. It's also helping us uncover where our range of motion might be more limited. So if we do this as much as we can, then we could potentially start to gain a bit of mobility, a bit of flexibility. We might even have some scar tissue in there. You see how I'm adding a little twist here? I'm like, let me see how much of the back of this globe could I get into. Now that kind of defeats the purpose because we want to try to reach behind us too, but that's okay. We're still warming up the spine. We're still working into all of that. Maybe even a side bend. What feels good in your body this morning? Did you miss a spot? Did you get it all yet? I really can't see the second hand on the clock, just so y'all know. We're just being silly. We're painting the inside of our snow globe. We're reaching behind and around and a front, all the way around, touching as much as we can. We're resting as we need. No shame in the rest game. I love it. We take what we need. We know that yoga meets us where we are. In this instance, we might say that we're stretching our wings and trusting that they're able to fly when we need them. Allow your hands to come back to your lap. Take a full breath in through your nose. And a big open mouth sigh. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Good. Let's find a little cat-cow. On our inhale breath, I'll turn sideways just so y'all can see a little better. On that inhale breath, we're going to think about tipping the tailbone up, lifting our gaze, and pulling our spine towards the front of body. On the exhale breath, we're going to round, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, look towards the lap, extend your spine towards the back of the room. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, pull the heart through. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, heart pulls through. Exhale, we tuck and round. Let's go one more time. Inhale, heart pulls through, shoulders back, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, extend your spine. Inhale, rise tall. Good. Let's take our sun salutations. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, hands draw to heart. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, fold, forearms to thighs or all the way to your toes. If you are a glaucoma patient, you're going to keep your vision straight ahead. Inhale, rise, right side. Knee pulls to chest. Exhale, release. Inhale, left knee lifts any available amount. Exhale, relax. Hands to knees. Inhale, baby cobra. Pull the heart forward. So you notice this looks a lot like cow pose. Exhale, relax shoulders over hips. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, hands draw to heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold in the available amount. Inhale, right knee draws to chest. Exhale, relax. Inhale, left leg lifts any amount. Exhale, relax. Hands to knees. Inhale, cobra. Pull the heart through. Lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. Exhale, relax. Shoulders over hips. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, hands pull to heart. This time we'll have that option for our warrior one. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right side. Knee to chest or that leg extends and arms extend overhead. Exhale, relax. Inhale, left leg lifts and arms lift. Exhale, relax. Hands to knees. Inhale, cobra. Pull the heart through. Lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. Exhale, shoulders over hips. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands pull to heart. Please remember, if you prefer, you can just pull the knee instead of doing that big lift. So whatever fits your body and your practice. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right side, knee or leg extends. Exhale, release. Inhale, left side. Exhale, relax. Hands to knees. Inhale, cobra. Pull the heart through. Exhale, shoulders over hips. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to hearts. Inhale, we reach. Upward salute or extended mountain. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, right side knee to chest or our warrior one. Exhale, relax. Inhale, left side, knee to chest or warrior one. Exhale, shoulders over hips, knees, hands to knees. Inhale, cobra. Pull the heart forward, lift the gaze. Exhale, shoulders over hips. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart. One last time through. Inhale, we reach, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Please move with your breath. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, relax. This is Tadasana, mountain. Inhale, left side, we reach. Exhale, relax, Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, take a breath. Let that go. Notice here the rate of the heart. Notice your mood. Notice if maybe you're feeling just one or two upticks more upbeat right now. Maybe getting that blood pumping, you're feeling a little better in the body. Good. Let's take the hands, let's go out to the sides here. Let's take a little seated triangle pose today. So we'll take our palms towards the floor. Let's see if I can mirror you instead of being opposite of you right now, because we'll move a little slower so I can think about it. We're going to take our left hand and we're going to tip it down towards the floor, and our right hand tips up to the ceiling. So we want to look up towards our right hand. Now think about the length that you're creating in the right side of your rib cage. We have these teeny tiny little muscles here called the intercostal muscles that help hold the ribs together. So take a full breath in. Feel that expansion and breath out through the nose. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Good. Now let's go the other way. We'll take the right fingertips towards the ground, the left fingertips towards the sky, and if it feels appropriate, we'll take our gaze up towards our left hand. Breathe in and breathe out. Now think about breathing here into the left side of our rib cage. Inhale, breath, and exhale, breath. Inhale, come back to center. Good, and let the hands float back down our seated Tadasana. Good work. All right, let's take a little twist here today. We're gonna bring our left hand to the outside of our right knee. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to not mirroring you. So left hand to right knee, and then our right hand, we're gonna reach it behind us and either hold on to the chair or the back of the chair, or you could even just reach Hand can stay at your waist. What we're looking for is a twist to happen through the root of the body, through our tailbone, all the way up through the spine, through the crown. So let's take a big breath in. And on the breath out, maybe here, we think about deepening that twist a bit more. We could use the left hand at the thigh to help guide the body a little deeper, but always listening and tuning in, making sure that this feels okay for you. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. One more. We inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Right hand, left thigh. Left hand, chair, back of chair, hand to hip. Take a breath in. And on that breath out, look over your left shoulder. Think about that twist originating from the bottom of your rib cage up into the shoulders, looking over the shoulder. We breathe in again and breathe out. Is there any more available space for you to twist into? And inhale and exhale. Good. Come back to center. Very nice. All right, let's heel toe the feet a little wider. We're going to take this into our goddess pose, our Uttkara Konasana. So our toes are going to be pointed 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, at 11 o'clock. And we want to just find an engagement here through the inner thighs. So we're pressing the legs open. We're thinking about sitting nice and tall here. And then let's bring our hands to our knees. And this might feel better if you're a little bit more on the edge of your chair. So we're going to come back to that cat-cow movement that we did just a few moments ago. So this is going to be a little less it might be a little bit more exaggerated. Anyways, we're going to do a little cat-cow. So on the inhale, think about pulling your heart forward and lifting your gaze. On your exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone around the spine towards the back of chair. Inhale, pull the heart through. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, pull the heart through. Exhale, tuck and round. Let's go one more round. Inhale, pull through. And exhale, tuck and round. Good. Come back to neutral, stacking the shoulders over top the hips. We're keeping that inner thigh engagement. So try not to be too relaxed here. Try to really keep things engaged. Let's bring our arms up to cactus arms. So we're pulling the arms out so that we're working to get our shoulder and our elbow on the same plane. So if you've ever been to the gym and you've used that chest press machine that they have, okay, that's what we're imagining here. And I want you to imagine that you have 100 pounds on that machine. So we're using our imagination. We're going to take a big breath in and a breath out. Now, this next inhale breath, we're pulling that weight in. Bring it in. Think hard. It's heavy. We're using our imagination. We're grunting internally. Bring it on into your forearms and your palms. Connect. Good. Now, don't let that weight hit the floor real hard. We're opening it back up, and we're going to imagine that we're holding that weight. We've got all that weight on there. We're not letting those weights hit the bottom. We're not clanging them to the floor. Good. Take a breath in. Pull it in. Good. Forearms and palms together. Whew. Open that back. It's amazing the power of our imagination, right? Forget that you have weight on there. Okay, we're just going to sit down on the machine. We're just going to see what this feels like. Bloop, right? Like there's no weight there. Bloop, bring it back open. Okay, no weight. Doop. Wait. Okay, now let's put that 100 pounds back on. Ready? Inhale, breath. All you got. Oh, grunt, exhale. Oh, pull it in. 100 pounds. Heavy stuff, right? Isn't it crazy, your imagination? It does amazing things. Pull it back open. So you can work with the weight, aka no weight, that you have available and still get a good workout here. Pull those forearms and those palms together. Last one, open it up nice and slow. Don't clang that weight. I see you. Don't clang that weight. Good. Roll your shoulders out. I don't know. I really do feel like I just lifted 100 pounds. That was a lot. All right, let's take a little side body stretch. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh. Take a little lean here. Now we're going to reach our right arm all the way up to your sky. Think about fingertips being stacked over your elbow, over your shoulder, potentially even over your hip if we have that long line there maybe. Take a breath in, reach through your fingertips. On your exhale breath, if you would like, you could reach your arm over your head. Now, if you're taking that big reach with me, I want you to think about rolling your bottom rib cage towards the sky. So rather than rolling your top rib cage to the floor, think bottom rib cage to the sky. Good. Inhale, come back center, and let's take a little switch. Right arm, right forearm, right thigh. Left hand reaches to the sky. Now, breath in, reach through your fingertips. Breath out. Inhale, breath. If you'd like to join me, exhale, breath. Reach that left arm over your head. Now, awareness, bottom rib cage. Can we think about rolling our bottom ribs towards the sky? Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Come all the way back up to center. A little Charleston, heel toe your feet to center. And then back out. And in and out. And in and out. And in and out. Don't touch anybody, you'll shock them now. So one of my friends posted a video of her daughter doing that, and like you could see the lightning bolt, like in slow motion. I'm like, I don't know that I've ever actually like need to do that now. Now I just want to go home and shuffle my feet on the carpet. Touch the refrigerator, get a charge. All right, let's come here to pause. Knees ahead, toes ahead. Let's go into our heel lifts. Lift your heels and lower. Lift your heels and lower. Now be very mindful about this. Let's not just hop like a bunny. Let's lift and lower. Really think about getting into the calf muscle. Good. All right, let's flip this around. Let's go toes. Toes, spread your toes wide if you're able. If you've got your shoes tossed off, spread those toes wide. When you're working with these kind of movements at home, I want to encourage you to really think about spreading your toes wide, trying to find some space between them. I have been almost a year without working a traditional job where I don't have to wear dress shoes anymore. And being a yoga teacher, I don't wear shoes a lot anyways. Plus summer's coming, flip-flop season. My toes and my foot shape has changed so much over the last year of not cramming my feet in dress shoes. It's amazing how our body adapts to what it has to. Our feet, as you all know, play a very important role in our mobility. So working that flexibility of our toes individually, spreading them wide. Okay, let's pause there. My legs are on fire. Let's take a march. I'm talking, forgetting what I'm doing. Think about thigh bones lifting. This originating from your low abdominals, which are not just the front of your body, but also the back of our body. We want to still sit nice and tall, shoulders stacked over the hips. It's really important, though, that we pay a lot of attention to our feet and our care of our feet. And those of you that might be diabetic or have loved ones that are diabetics, you know that. You know you have to take care of your feet. It's just so incredibly important. Maintaining the flexibility of our big toe is huge in keeping us moving. So anything that we can do to keep that, we got to do it. Okay, let's pause here. Let's take a seated pigeon pose. Now, those of you who may have had a hip replacement, this may not be available to you. It may not be available to you, period, just based on your flexibility and what your body is able to do. So where we are headed, and I'm going to give you options, is we're going to start with our right leg, and if it's available, we're going to bring our right ankle onto our left thigh. If this is not available to you, you're going to cross your right ankle over your left ankle. So please choose whichever variation feels best in your body. So we're going to come here. Now, we're going to have left hand either at your left ankle or on your left knee, and then our right hand's going to be kind of at our inner thigh here. And what we're working here is to take a nice little stretch into this right leg. So take a big breath in, sit tall. And on your exhale, the most gentle of encouragement to open that right leg, and lean forward from your waist. Good. Think about keeping the spine one long line from your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head. Inhale, breath. And exhale, breath. Good. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, breath, sit nice and tall for me. Now let's release that right leg out to the side. Let's do a little work into our hip joint. So toes and kneecap pointed straight to the sky. And now we're going to start to tip the toes. So we're just working the toes on this little rotation point. Brain, words. Tipping your toes forward and back. Now I really want you to think about this happening from your ankle all the way up into the head of your femur bone. So we're rotating. We're giving that hip joint a little oil change. We're getting some fresh synovial fluid moving in there. We're telling the body, hey, I need you to work. It's sunshine and we're going to go for a walk, and we want that walk to be pain-free. So we want some extra synovial fluid in there. Good. Just like giving our car an oil change, we're giving the body a little synovial fluid change out. Good. All right, let's pause. Toes towards the sky. Left hand, let's grab a hold of the chair by our left hip. Okay? Take an inhale breath, reach that right arm high. Now we're going to stretch away today. So stretch away. Ooh, reach away from your right toes, over your left shoulder. Find big length here. Breathe in. Good. And breathe out. Now, let's come the other way. Inhale, bring your right hand all the way towards your right knee, right thigh. If it feels available, we're going to reach that left arm up and over and take another side body stretch, stretching the opposite way. Good, and inhale. And exhale, come back to center. Let's go ahead and bring that right leg back in. Okay, let's do our seated pigeon pose other side. Now this side might be different than the other side. Maybe you've had a hip replacement on the left side but not the right side, and this leg can come up, this leg can. Either crossing left ankle over right, or left ankle over right knee. Okay. And either right hand at your knee and left hand at your thigh, or right hand at your ankle, left hand here at the thigh again. Take a breath in, sit tall. Exhale, breath, and we're thinking about leaning forward, a little bit of encouragement on that left thigh to press open. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more. We inhale. And exhale. Inhale, breath, sit tall, shoulders restack. Release that left leg out to the side of the body. Now, we're still keeping that right leg nice and straight, everything in one long line, hip, knee, toes, and then we're going to start rotating that left foot. Toes tipping forward and back, rotating the head of the femur bone in the hip joint. I think I am a forever student. Anybody else feel like they're a forever student? You're always like deep diving into things. Yeah. So I was watching some training videos for teaching yoga, and I thought it really interesting because nobody had ever really said it, or if they have said it, it hasn't clicked for me before, how we all have essentially the same bones and structure in our body. But the ball of our femur might be bigger or smaller than your neighbor's. So what that in turn means, and then in the same realm, our joint that it fits into might not be as deep, or it may be more shallow than your neighbor's. So all of that movement in there can be different, creating a different range of motion and a different bit of flexibility. And I thought that was really interesting as I've been looking at a lot of bodies and seeing how people move in their bodies. And, you know, I'm always encouraging, okay, well, move here, we're aiming for that. Well, based on that alone, just equals out to it might not be available, which, you know, I knew that in the back of my mind, that things are not always available because we're not all built the same. But thinking that the ball size is different. And then someone yesterday shared with me when they had their hip replacement, the doctor talked about the size of the ball that they put in there. And I'm like, oh, that's curious. Like, that makes me curious. I'm like, what size do they make those balls? Are they like 40 millimeters, 41 millimeters? Do they, like, what size are they? I'm like, that's really cool to think about that. All right, let's come back into stillness there. Those toes and kneecap straight to the sky. Bring your right hand behind the body. Let's inhale, reach that left hand high. And exhale, we'll just lean away from our left leg. Whew, good. Inviting some length down the left side. Now, come back up through center. Left hand maybe lands near the left knee, and we reach our right arm up and over the head. Good stuff. Come back up through center. Good. Let's step that left foot in. All right. Now, we're grounding down through the feet. Toes are pointed straight ahead. We're going to come to stand. When we come to stand, we're going to take a couple of marches, and then we're going to do some squats. Those of you with me yesterday, we did some squats. All right, soles of the feet down. Take a big breath in. Breath out, push into the heels stand. Take a couple marches in place. And remember that march in place is to help us kind of level out our blood pressure, because when we go from seated to standing, especially after we've been seated for a period of time, our blood pressure needs to just kind of take a second and equal out. You're good. All right. Now, let's take a peek at our legs again. Let's make sure the kneecaps are straight ahead, the shins are straight ahead, our toes are pointed straight ahead, and then let's find the hands to the sides of the body in our mountain pose. And we just want the hands to be soft at the sides of the body. Don't feel like you have to be rigid. You can relax. Just let those hands rest freely. Chins parallel to the ground. So we don't want to look to the ceiling. We're not looking to the floor. We're just looking straight ahead. Take an inhale. Breathe into your belly, exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale to the belly. Exhale through the nose. Good. Inhale, breath, extended mountain. Reach your arms high. Exhale, float the hands back down, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, extended mountain, we reach, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samastiti, bring your hands to heart center. Good. Now from here, we're going to take our squat as if we're coming to sit in our chair, but we're not actually going to land. So we're just going to start here, soft bend to the knees, start to extend the sits bones back. Good. Notice where the weight is in your feet. Notice if your knees buckled out, if they turned in, or are they straight ahead? Can we try to keep things all on a couple of railroad tracks there? Drop your awareness back into the soles of your feet. Stand Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, Utkatasana, sit back, chair pose. Good. Think about keeping the heart lifted. Try not to be here. Try to let it be here. Good. Inhale, rise. Exhale, mountain pose. Now, before we do those last couple, I want to talk one little thing. So when we have a tendency to not always hold our pelvis in a neutral position. So if we think about our pelvis, it looks like a bowl, right? Holds all of our organs in our low body. So technically it is a bowl. It's holding all this for us. If we tend to stick our booty out a little bit, if it were a fruit bowl, our apples would be spilling out the front. If we can tuck, keep everything in a nice flat space, we hold our apples in their bowl. So when we come to our chair pose, so when we come to sit, we want to think about not tipping our apples out of the front of our bowl. We want to tuck our little bowl under. So the other way that we can think about this is if you find your bottom ribs and then find the top of your pelvis, you can kind of just, it's like you try to close the two together. So kind of like Cookie Monster trying to eat a cookie. Can you feel that? That little bit of a change? So let's try that again. So we don't necessarily, like it's not a huge, here we go. We don't want to round our spine to the back. It is the most subtle of little movement that it's just that little close. So if we just think about holding our pelvis, so that our pelvic bone, so that everything stays in our bowl. And then we think also that little closure. So whichever one seems to resonate with you, let's think about that as we move into these last three chairs. So bringing hands back, sides of body, coming back to Ardha, knees and toes and hips are square. Inhale, breath, we reach. Exhale, breath, we find our chair pose. Just One of the two. Are your apples staying in their bowl? Are you closing the jaw? Good. I'm seeing a difference already. Come to stand. Good. Inhale, breath, we reach. Exhale, chair. Good. Think about shoulders and hips, and I feel like I'm kind of looking over my shoulder a little. Press into the heels and stand. Good. Inhale, breath. Exhale, breath, chair. We're going to stay for a whole couple of rounds of breath. Take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, breath. Last one, exhale. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, release. Good work. All right, let's come behind our chair. We're going to take a kitchen sink stretch today. In our kitchen sink stretch, this is the one where, let me just caution again, if you are a glaucoma patient, gaze is staying straight ahead instead of going to the floor. So we're going to place our hands at the back of our chair, and we're just going to start to walk our feet back so that we create this long, gorgeous line from your hands to your shoulders to your sits bones, soft bend to your knees. Feet can be at about hip distance, nice, flat back. Good. I'm going to take a quick little walk around. Don't forget to breathe. Guys, this looks so good back here. Are you able to step up a little bit more? Y'all look good. Take another inhale and an exhale. Good. Go ahead and start to walk your feet back towards the chair. Good. Okay. Man, we're running out of time today. I'm just going to come to the side so you can see my feet. We're going to come into our heel lifts and our toe lifts. So let's go heels, heels, very methodical. Heel, heel. Now, if doing two at the same time doesn't work, you could go one at a time. I must have a hole in the bottom of my sock. I totally do. Like I can feel the bottom of my foot sticking to the stage. I have good socks, Mom. I evidently didn't look when I grabbed these ones. All right, go toes. Hope everybody's feeling good today. Okay, maybe slightly better than when we started. I checked the weather this morning and it said it was supposed to be partly cloudy. It does not look partly cloudy out there. It looks gorgeous. Let's start to take some marches. Think about just pulling that leg, thigh bone parallel. And if you need to turn sideways, turn sideways. If you want to move your chair, make this work for you. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. All right, come back to stand here. Let's everybody turn to face y'all's right. So let's do a little stork pose into tree pose. So we're going to use our left foot as our grounded foot. So the foot that's closest to the chair, and your left hand's going to hold the chair. So just like we did our marches, we're going to draw that right knee towards the chest. We're going to let that right hand maybe just rest out to the side of the body. You could even draw it in and let it rest at your heart space. Take a full breath in, stand tall, and full breath out. We're going to take one more breath here and let that go. And now we'll take tree pose, bringing your right foot all the way to the floor so that your toes touch the floor and the arch of your foot sort of wraps your calf. or wraps your ankle, sorry. Now, as you take tree pose, we want to think about pulling the right knee a little bit more open, but also pulling your left hip back under your body, because we have a tendency when we come to tree pose to let that hip pop out. So we want to really engage through the outer glutes and that hip and pull that back under body. Now, if it feels available, we're going to try to slide that right foot maybe up to the calf. Take a breath in and a breath out. Bring your awareness back to your left hip. Pull it back under the body as you inhale and exhale. Now with this last breath, if it feels like you could you release your hand from the chair or a couple of fingers so that maybe only one finger is on the chair? And it's okay if you wobble. Trust yourself. You have wings. You can fly. You can balance. Good. Release that back down as you're ready. Good. Let's everybody turn so that our right hand and right leg are closest to the chair. And we'll ground the right foot. And let's draw the left knee so that the left thigh comes parallel to the ground. Flex your toes towards your knee. Left hand could rest at the heart, could rest at the hip, it could just rest at side of body. Take a breath in through your nose and a breath out through the nose. Notice the coolness of the air as you breathe in. Notice the warmth of the air as you breathe out. Good. Now let's bring that left foot down. Toes tap the earth. Arch of the foot comes around the ankle. Now, awareness again. We want to pull the left knee as far open as we're able, but then that creates that bit of a pop in the right hip. Pull that right hip back under the body. Good. Now, take a breath in and a breath out. If it feels available, could you slide your left foot up to the calf? The arch of our foot wraps that calf muscle perfectly when we're not wearing shoes, so definitely try this at home. Take a breath in and a breath out. Pull that right hip back under the body. Breathe in and breathe out. Last breath here. Could you think about releasing the hand at your chair or moving to one finger? Embrace your little wobble. It's okay. So good. One more breath here and let that go. Very nice. Okay, let's come back to the front of our chair to have a seat. I'll spare you more squats today.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Good work today, folks. All right, let's find our sits bones under the body. Settle into your seat. Knees are straight ahead, toes straight ahead, shoulders stacking over hips. Just let your hands rest at your lap. Perhaps we close the eyes or soften the gaze. Let's take a full breath in through the nose and a long sigh from the mouth. Let's do that again and really concentrate on taking that big full breath so that we can take a really extended exhale. Breath in. Really long extended exhale. And now just relax the breath. Finding again that connection of body and breath. Taking time to notice any physical sensations, any emotions that may have arose. Notice the support beneath you, the steadiness of the earth, how it holds you effortlessly. Allow the body to soften, your breath to slow, the mind to quiet, Imagine yourself as a bird resting on a strong branch. Feel a gentle rise and fall of your breath like the wind beneath your wings. You are safe. You are supported. You're at ease. Now in your mind's eye, the branch begins to sway. Perhaps the wind picks up. Perhaps the branch weakens. But notice there is no fear. You take a deep breath in. Feel the energy of your own strength, and as you exhale, you spread your wings. You're not dependent of the branch. You are free. Feel the lightness in your body, the softness, support, the effortless support of your breath. There's no need to grip, to hold, or to control. Everything you need is already within you. Let's bring our hands to heart center, pressing the palms together, letting the thumbs rest at the heart space, bowing our heads. And here we take a moment of gratitude for this practice, to you for making space in the day, and for this opportunity to come together in community and in collective energy. Let's take a clearing breath together before we close. A full inhale through the nose, and an exhale with ease. May your life be free of struggles. May your heart be open. May your body be filled with joy and ease. May you share your gifts with the world, and may you know your truest self in this lifetime. Together we say, Namaste. Thank you guys for being here today. Really appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Okay.
Don't applaud. No. Don't applaud.